Hello friends, hi, how are you today? I hope we are all doing well. I'm coming at you for the week of July 31st to August the 6th. We are finally into August, and is this not the most perfect kit for August? It's the honey kit from Let's Plan It. I've been hoarding it for a little while. I specifically buy it for August almost every year, and it was on sale at the end of last year, so why not? I love the colors, the greeny green, don't know a better way to explain that. The particular shade of yellow, I love the beigey pink. I think it all works really well together, and it just sort of signals to me like the end of summer, August, which is like the close down of summer in my mind, but like also the hottest part of summer, the dog days of summer, the lazy bees buzzing. Like, I hope I'm painting you a visual picture here. I hope you can hear it, feel it, smell it. Let's just have a beautiful sensation. Anyway, this is a very nice kit to plan with, but it only came with one set of headers, and I used the bottom black and white washi to put it on instead of a top header, and I did it all the way across, but I did scatter my full boxes this week, so it kind of made it just a unique look, but I think it turned out just fine. It looks pretty much like any of my other spreads. And then I did pull in date cover sticker or date doc stickers. I just had a ton of leftovers, and I actually had a shade that matched this, and it was perfect. And I was like, what am I doing using my hands? I need to use my tweezers for this. This is like finicky little work. So I did that, and I thought it looked great. And these are paint swatch date covers, so they are not the squared edges, but they still look phenomenal. I should probably pull up my planner in front of me just so that I can like see what I'm talking about. That would be fantastic. It was a long week, and then we ended up going up to the cottage for the long weekend just on Sunday. It was really nice. We had a really good time. But getting there, it was just like, I feel like it was a long week. Monday, Tuesday were really, really busy. And then it was really quiet for Friday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday was just incredibly busy. So, as I said, scattered the boxes. I loved every single box in this kit. There was not a single box in this kit that I did not like. They were all perfect. And I love how the scatter turned out. I love how everything turned out. Like, even my sidebar, bringing in different stuff into the sidebar this week, sometimes it's nice to plan with kits that aren't as familiar with you, just to see the change. And this one honestly has been outstanding. So, my usual Pavlovian response, yawn. I'm actually filming this in the or doing the voiceover for this in the morning this time, but it is November 1st today. I am only 3 months behind. Hopefully I will be able to catch up. I did a ton of filming of bases, but not like the day by days. So I'll get into those as soon as I possibly can. My little one starts daycare soon, and then I have a chunk of time between when he starts daycare and when I am going back to work that I'm planning on catching up, essentially. That's my hope. Man, I'm taking my sweet time because this is sped up to double speed, and I'm still taking so long. Oh no, it's not double speed. It's close to double speed though. I'm still taking so long to do this, and I can't wait to get to my sidebar because then we can start the day by day, and that's really where the fun is. So, hoping to get this video up tonight, which again, November 1st, and then I've got my my big kid here with me today. He's just taking a day off of daycare. They sent him home yesterday because he was like crying uncontrollably when he woke up from his nap, because he's only 3.5, right? They're like, we don't know what's wrong with him. I'm like, it's a night dare. And they're like, we don't know what's wrong with him. And he just needed sleep. So, I loved layering the scripts. I love the scripts that LPI puts into her kit. I just think they're so nice. So I layered one of the paint swatch stickers and then put important. I put down 3 habit trackers. Honestly, I put down the habit trackers just to take up the space in here. I didn't really necessarily need them. And then I found a little bit of cut washi, so I added that in, and then another paint swash with the Get It Done, which again, I love the mixture of like the color and the print the cursive and the font, like the typewriter font, all mixed together for her scripts. So I really think Brittany does that well. And then there wasn't a sidebar box just because I get the mini version of this kit. So it wasn't like I don't have everything, but I don't need everything. So I just added in a checklist for my meals. And then I added one of the half boxes at the bottom just because it was super decorative. I could have used it during the week, but then I just thought no. And honestly, I think this turned out pretty well. But this is the overall spread before the pen. It looks so nice. Then we moved on to my day by day, and it was, as I said, a very busy Monday and Tuesday. So I ended up having to use the half box extender I marked with an Olivia that we watched the Canada, Australia soccer. The Canadians lost. No surprise there. Our Canadian soccer team, women's soccer team, and I don't know about the men's, but the women's is currently in shambles. And then I just used a leftover icon and then a laundry script from the kit, obviously to mark laundry. After that, I edited and uploaded my August kit lineup, which was nice. I got that done. And then my husband had the baby and I just took a walk alone. And I used a Fox and Cactus Girl to mark that. I used another Olivia from Sweet Tea StickerCo, including the script from Sweet Tea StickerCo, to note that I did some weeding, quite a bit of weeding actually. August I find is like when it gets the weediest in my garden. So it takes me a while. I try and do that a couple times a week or at least once a week. Luckily, my big kid is really helpful with that kind of stuff. So he's always up for, pulling things out of the dirt. Then later on in the day, my mom came over for quite a long visit. It was, or quite a short visit, but it was nice of her to come out, rush hour traffic and all that. So it was just nice for her to come. Then my little guy had his swimming lessons that night, and so my big guy and I spent some time together just snuggling, catching up. That's sort of how I make sure that I have time for both of them. And then that night, my husband and I were like, oh, we need to catch up too. So we just had some time catching up, watching some TV together. We did it a couple of times this week, and it was just really, I feel like, necessary to reconnect. So I used a Olivia for the visit with my mom, a Prairie Planner little pool for swimming, and then a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji for snuggles with my kiddo. Moving on to Tuesday. Tuesday was a big day in the garden. So I started off with a Fox and Pip icon and a harvest script from Sweet Tea StickerCo. So we harvested the tomatoes, and then I went ahead. It was so dry. I watered my herbs. Herbs. I say herbs. I don't know why I said herbs. How do you pronounce it? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you do herbs with sort of a more quiet H, or do you pronounce the H with a hard H? Let me know. I'm always curious. Then I used a Dash of Sun Designs icon, YouTube icon. She designed it herself to note that my August kit lineup went live. I kind of hope she brings those back to the shop when she reopens. They are fantastic. Then my little one and I had a lunch date at the mall with my husband. He just took us to a nicer restaurant that's like attached to the mall, but he needed to go pick up some stuff. So that was nice. And then my kiddo and I had a long nap together. Then my big kid got home from daycare and we baked banana bread together as we are wont to do. And then bedtime was just a nightmare. It was just a nightmare. It was 3 hours long. It was a hard bedtime. And then I had to email my cousins in regards to a family barbecue we were doing that weekend. And I stayed up really late reading. And this was like my Throne of Glass rereads era. I think this was Empire of Storms, I want to say. Wednesday, I got to sleep in. Here are the air quotes until 6:07 a.m. Big sleep in for us. And a paper and milk icon to note that I Swiffered the floors in their main living room area. More laundry, which was marked with a Fox and Pip icon. And I had this leftover paper and milk Maru to with the little paper clip. It's really cute. I didn't really have a use for it, so I stuck it there to note that I was having a pedicure. And then I went for some waxing of my brows and my toes because let me tell you, I have hobbit feet. I know that's TMI, but here we are. And then with a fox and cactus icon, I marked that I took the kids out. We just went for a nice walk and we ended up at the LCBO picking up some drinks for my husband and I. And then that evening after the kids went to bed, he and I just watched, I don't even know what we watched on TV, but we watched some TV together and had some drinks together. And we've been making like an active effort to spend more time together like that. I think it's important to do that. It is very easy to lose yourself in parenthood, so it's important to have that time, in my opinion. But that was the first half of the week. I thought it turned out really well. I liked my hand lettering this week. I even didn't mind the S that I did in the Canada versus Australia for the first little flip up that I did on Monday. Moving on to Thursday of the week, the first thing was daycare drop-off, and I walked home with my little guy, and I stopped to get some caffeine, but I had a migraine brewing, and it was hideous. But we needed a lot of groceries for the barbecue this weekend, so after my husband's work, we just pulled it all together, and we went to Costco. Then my big guy had a ridiculous tantrum. It was so long. It was like insane. And then I had another 3-hour bedtime with my kid. And I was just like, this is not the week for it. So I used the Tim script from Valerie Papery, Monster Headache from Fox and Cactus. Costco is from Magical StickerCo. And 3-hour bedtime and the tantrum are from the Coffee Monsters Co. Moving on to Friday. Friday was just absolutely also insane. And my kiddo started off his day with 2 hours of tantruming. I've never seen anything like it. And this was the peak of the 3-nagers. And then it just all gets better from here. So then we had more daycare drop-off. I went to Tim's again. Then I called my mom friend, and we were just chit-chatting about everything for a while. Then I had a nap with my little guy, and that night we all went to bed early. The entire house went to bed early. It was a much better day on Saturday. We started the day just doing all of the laundry just for prepping for our trip, and then that is from a shop that is no longer open. I think it's like Millie's Papery. It's not open anymore. But Fox and Pip is still open, and we used the little play structure just to mark that we went to the park for a little while that morning, which was also very nice. Then we did a regular grocery shop, not like the Costco stuff that we needed, and that was nice. And then my big guy and I snuggled, and we read books together for a little while, and then my husband got home from work and we just played together, and that was really, really, really nice. And then I used the Seriously Do This Now little box from the kit just to mark packing. I had been really procrastinating some of the stuff that I shouldn't have been procrastinating on, so I was like, okay, better get it done. And in that same vein, the next morning, another Sweetie StickerCo icon to note last minute packing. And then I've been practicing my driving so I can get my license. So I was the one who drove up to the cottage, and it was rough because my big kid, I've got someone waking up from a nap. My big kid was sick everywhere in the car multiple times, projectile sickness. But we got to the cottage. Once we got to the cottage, we got everybody cleaned up and we played at the beach for quite some time. Then we went over to my family's, where there's a gigantic island. It's a few kilometers long, so they're at the other end. You can't get to it by walking. You have to boat to it. So we boated over to their island for a big family barbecue. It was fantastic. It was like 2/3 of our family was there, which was wonderful. We've been trying to do get-togethers more, but my family is gigantic. I think just on my dad's side, there's something like, I think between 60 and 70 of us now, between like the sibs, the kids, the marriages, the grandbabies, the great, like it's a whole thing. And so I used a lot of Fox and Pip icons for this. And then after that, we went to the beach again. And then that night after dinner, my sister and her spouse and I played Settlers of Catan. And then that night we just stayed up way too late chatting. So that was my entire week planned. And honestly, I love how it turned out. I think it didn't really matter about the second set of headers. It just looks beautiful. I'm so glad to finally be in August, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Toodles!